Well, speaking of a chance, Rob, reports are that there is no chance of Deshaun Watson playing anymore in Houston for the Texans. There was a report that came out. I'm trying to find it. Rob G, if you have the details, feel free. I got a little.
Yeah, Texans GM Nick Caserio was at the radio in Houston, doing some exit interviews with the media.
Yes.
And obviously one of the big questions was about Deshaun Watson and his future with the team. And they asked, can we assume then that Deshaun Watson will no longer be the quarterback of the Houston Texans moving forward? And in so many words, Caserio confirmed that, yes, it's unlikely that he's ever going to play quarterback for them again.
I'm stunned by this whole story. I really am. Because I think you want to talk about mishandling a situation, Chris, that totally derailed your career, derailed your image.
So you're talking about
Deshaun.
Right,
cost you so much money with paying Rusty Hardin, one of the most expensive lawyers out there. And you're still going to have to wind up paying these women. Still, Chris, ultimately, right? Ultimately, you will pay them. And it says a lot that only the Miami Dolphins were only interested in a deal. There's got to be more where they feel like there's a real chance the other owners and general managers, he might not play in the league. How could it be that no one's willing to roll the dice? And
I think other teams are willing to roll the dice.
They
weren't in October, but I bet you this summer. And I think, Rob, it's just to hear, Rob G, what is the timetable to get some closure on this situation?
Well, it's following the courts right now. So he has, according to the most recent report, he has a deposition in his civil lawsuits taking place February 22nd, end of February.
Okay.
Pre-trial discovery process ends March 25th. Status conference and trial date likely to be scheduled in May. So that's assuming that these court dates and these status conferences go forward, because I told you guys off the air, my wife works at a law firm and they've had multiple trials postponed because of COVID. And especially now with this Omicron and it's surging across the country, there's courts that aren't even accepting trials right now because they can't have anybody in.
their backlog.
Yeah, they can't have them in the courthouse because it's not safe, according to their guidelines. So at the earliest, you might not get anything until May. Any kind of resolution.
And it's just civil cases at this point.
So far, just civil cases.
So he doesn't risk. He's not risking jail time.
Not at the moment.
At this point.
But that doesn't make sense on why there hasn't been a deal struck if that's all that they're looking at. And even in Miami's situation, Stephen Ross wanted him to pay the women off before they would strike a deal.
And he tried.
But my thing is, okay, he could do that afterwards. If it's not a criminal case, Stephen Ross still could have made that deal, Chris, and say ultimately you're going to have to get, take care of this on your own dime and get this straightened out. But he could have made the deal. Why did it have to be paid now as compared to down the road if you're paying it? If it's not criminal and you're just talking about civil, it's like AB didn't pay the chef. You know what I mean? That stuff can be handled.
Yeah, but I think what it is, Rob, who wants to bring that to their franchise? I think what Stephen Ross was saying is, look, get it taken care of so that, we deal with it on day one or, week one, whatever, and we got to answer questions about bringing a guy like this in and are we concerned about his character and blah, 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 but then it's done. And by the time we, certainly start next season, it's water under the bridge, and we've moved on. But if it's not finished, then does somebody really want to trade for those headaches?
Yes, because
I think that's part of it.
Because look at all the bad quarterbacks and all the teams that don't have quarterbacks. And if you really believe that it's not going to be anything criminal and it's just civil, then you could eventually pay through that. If that's really what it is and you're not afraid that he's going to wind up in jail because they're going to have some criminal charges. That's what I'm saying, Chris. I get you would love to have a clean slate. But if this is just anybody can be sued civilly, I could sue you and say, Chris.
But then the nature of the crimes.
No, I get that. I get that, but there's still no criminal charges, is what I'm saying.
Well, Rob G, weren't there a few women that
no,
wanted
but there haven't been any.
Yeah, but charges have not officially
That's
been
what I'm saying,
brought forward
Chris.
by the local law enforcement.
That's what I'm saying. Why there's something else here. I don't understand.
I mean, it's not his ability, and it's not the fact that. I mean,
are you surprised where he's at though, Chris? On how did he botch this?
Well, he botched it. First of all, he botched it by, how about not sexually harassing women?
Who you brought in for a massage. If you want to date a bunch of women,
you can. We know how it is. But that's number one. And then, like you said, he got arrogant. If he knew he had done this, maybe he should have paid off the one woman. It doesn't go public.
Yeah.
And then
you probably don't have all the other women.
Right. They might not be thinking about coming forward. So I think there is that aspect. And I'm going to say this about the Texans, Rob, and I said it a few times during the season. If I'm paying the dude, I'm sorry. I would have had him lace him up, suit up, and get out there on the field. And if the commissioner suspends him for 8 games or the whole season, for goodness sake, so be it. But the league's going to have to tell me I can't play this dude. I'm not paying you to sit on the sidelines and do nothing.
Yeah, but
so I think they should have played. What they have to lose? They won 4 freaking games.
There's something to this story. None of it makes sense, Chris. Like it doesn't make. And unless it was what Sean Salisbury said, he didn't want to play for them.
No, remember he didn't. That? We know he didn't. But we're gonna figure something out. You're either not getting paid at all, or you're gonna play.
I would have to have you commit insubordination, so I don't have to pay you.
Right.
Like I tell,
because if I go out to put you on the field,
you won't go out there. Right. That's insubordination, and I have cause now to void out your contract or whatever, or not pay you and suspend you without pay. Right.
And they probably didn't want to void it.
No.
They could use him as a trade. They could just
suspend it. Right. No, suspend it without pay.
Right. I agree with you on that. So I think both sides botched it badly. And I hear you, Rob, because, look, he's a great quarterback. And, a team that's in need, you figure you go get him. I just don't think they want to bring these headaches into their facility. And, look, it's a different day, Rob, with Me Too and all that.
It is a different day.
That'll be huge. Yeah.
It is a different day, and I think he miscalculated, but I can't get over, Chris, the financial burden that he's taken on from this. Remember he started out by saying none of this happened, totally exonerated. I'm not, like this is all false and made up.
Right. And now he was ready to settle in October.
Right. How you gonna settle, Chris, if it ain't real? You said it.
Right.
Right.
Something like that. Look, if I was innocent, now I don't know. I guess there can be situations where
there's cases,
even if you're innocent, and it can, it just
you just don't want to open up a can of worms, right? Sometimes you have to pay, Chris. It's when people get fired or jobs or whatever. Sometimes a company will just pay a settlement because if we fight it, we can write them a check for $50,000 and they'll go away, or we got to go with a lawyer. And this thing drags out, and it costs us $200,000 to stop them from getting $50,000.
Right.
Right.
All right.